So I ordered a bunch of mics. They showed up. Now I'm going to show you what I got. So it was definitely a goal of mine to eventually replace all of these mics. I've been using them for a long time, and I'm just long overdue for a new set. So I started shopping around, and I was checking out all the usual suspects, right? Shure, Sennheiser, AKG, whatever, whoever had a mic pack out there. But I was hoping that I could find something different. You know what I mean? Like something that I've never really seen before, but holds the same quality and reputation as the well-known mics. So I was researching, checking out some stuff online, and I stumbled upon this company called Aventone. Now, Aventone is a company out of New York, and these guys are making fantastic mics at almost a boutique level, but they're priced pretty much just like all of the rest of the high-end mics out there, without getting too crazy into the Neumanns and the Earthworks and all that stuff. So I literally found out about this company like a week ago. So I totally rolled the dice, ordered a pack, they showed up, and I tell you what, man, blown away. Now, I definitely wouldn't have shelled out the money on these mics if I didn't read enough good reviews, and there seems to be plenty on these mics. So what I ended up picking up was the CDMK. This is the 8 mic set. This is the big boy. The configurations they come in are 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is the one that comes with the most stuff. And I tell you what, when I saw this case for the first time up close, I was very happy I made that decision. So this is actually going to be part 1 of this video. This is just the unboxing part. Going to show you the mics up close, tell you a little bit about them. And then part 2, tomorrow, I'm going to spend pretty much most of the day messing around with them. Going to get them all in the kit, and then I'm going to do some recording and then shoot some of it. That'll be part 2 of this video, so I can let you hear what these mics can do. So let's get into what we got here. First of all, I got to talk about this case, because this is probably by far the nicest mic case I have ever seen mics come in. This is a very cool looking vintage tweed case, something straight out of the 70s. You open it up and it's got this real nice sort of classic Dolomite velour lining. The mics are laid out in this really thick, super protective, form-fitting rubber padding. And the mics themselves are just friggin' gorgeous. You get 3 tom mics, kick mic, snare, 2 overheads, hi-hat, right? So those are your 8 mics. And then you get 4 of these metal mounts for the rims, and then 3 shock mounts for the condensers. So let's start first with the snare mic. This is the ADM snare mic. And the first thing that you're going to notice when you pick one of these up for the first time is the weight. These things are built like tanks, man. So there's no plastic anywhere in this construction. All metals that they're using on this, die cast, zinc, I believe, brass ring, and steel grills. Now these snare drum mics come with the promise of sounding as good as all the other snare mics, with the added bonus of enhanced low end and smoother high end. So I'm expecting to get a lot more body out of this than the SM57 that I'm used to. So you can imagine how excited I am to hear my A&F under this thing. Next up, we have the kick mic. This is called the Mondo. Good weight to this. It's probably like 1.5 pounds here. And this one is supposed to have really thick low end, like enhanced low frequencies, as well as enhanced higher end, like on the top end, just for definition and stuff. And apparently, the thump that you get out of this has impressed a lot of people. So I've been a big fan of the Beta 52 for a long time. It's been my go-to mic. From what I'm reading and hearing about this one might slap it around a little. Now, one of the things that Avantone apparently tries to achieve with all of their mics is that they want you to get the best possible sound with very little to no EQ. So I'm going to be sure when I throw them on the kit, I'm not going to touch anything, man. I want to see how good they sound flat. Next up, we have the tom mics. This is called the Atom. You get 3 of these in the 8-pack. So Avantone's quote on these mics is a big fat sound with no EQ. So I'm going to totally put that one to the test because you know these toms already sound awesome. So I'm pretty excited to hear them under these. Now, I want to bring a little bit of attention to these mounts here. Now, these mics here will come in the pack with the mounts on them, but they are removable. So the thing about these is that the design of the actual mic itself was sort of machined out to integrate these mounts. So there's some ridges. I don't know if I can take that out. There's some ridges around, one here and one there. And the cool thing about these mounts is that they're actually shock mounts. So the mic itself doesn't actually make any contact with the outer shell of the mount. And then the other thing is that the mount is also metal. So next up are the overheads. These are the CK1s. So you actually get 3 CK1s, but 2 of them are cardioid. These are for your overheads. And then you get 1 hypercardioid CK1 for your hi-hats. Now, I've read some pretty good things about the performance of these CK1s, like they're supposed to sound really, really nice. First of all, they look super cool. But each one of these CK1s comes with 2 switches on them. So there's a low cut switch there, and it also comes with a negative 10 dB switch, which is cool for me in this room because I got really low ceilings. This kit is really loud, so I'm probably going to use these right off the bat. And then finally, we have the Pro clamp. So you get 4 of these with this pack, and super solid construction. These things aren't going to bend. I suspect they'll probably never break on you. And they look very cool. The only drawback to these clamps, just because of the design of what they are and how they attach to the hoop, if I ever decided to switch to my wood hoops on this kit, which I don't see why I would, but if I ever decided to, these wouldn't fit. I'd have to put the mics on boom stands instead of using them on the clamps. Which, I mean, whatever. I'm fine with that because look, when you got gold hoops, you don't swap out gold hoops. That's in the Bible. So that's what I got, man. I rolled the dice. I haven't heard these things yet, but from what I'm seeing so far, there's no reason why I shouldn't be super impressed with these. So that concludes part 1 of this video. That was the unboxing. Part 2 is going to be the listening party. So we're going to get all of these mics on the kit, get them hooked up, dialed in, going to do some recording, and then I'm going to let you hear them. So here we are, man, fully fitted with the new mics, and just as I thought, they look sweet on this kit. So starting up top, of course, we got the CK1s for overheads. On the toms, we got the Atoms. We have the ADM on the snare, Mondo on the kick, and I'm not actually using the bottom mic because I wanted to mic my floor tom. So what I decided to do was take the Beta 52 that was on the kick, put it on my 16-inch floor tom. Now, if you've never tried that before, give yourself that gift. You're going to hear in a second just how good that sounds. So I'm just going to give you a quick sound check of all of these mics. I'm going to solo them so you can hear them on their own, starting with the overheads. I also just want to point out that all of these sound samples that you're going to hear are flat. All right, there's nothing that's been done to these mics as far as EQ or anything like that. These are flat off the mics. So let me just let you hear the whole kit now. All the mics fired up. This is a completely flat mix. Pay attention to the toms, man. The toms are going to impress you. So needless to say, man, I am 100% happy with my choice of these mics. I'm really digging the performance of these things. I just have one gripe, and that's the fact that they're just big. On the 12-inch, on the 14, if I had one on the 16, would have been totally fine. But it is, admittedly, a little intrusive on the 10-inch. Sticks out a little bit more than I might have wanted. So, I mean, if you're going to get these for your kit and you have a 10-inch on it, keep that in mind. You might want to stick it on a stand or something. But, you know, if you play bigger drums, you're going to be totally happy with these things. Now, I actually also did opt to put the snare mic, the ADM, on a stand for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's a little more flexible in terms of where you want to put it when you're going to record. So sometimes you want it, you know, a little bit closer in. Sometimes you might want to stick it just outside of the snare, you know, depending on the sound that you're going for. But another issue that I was running into when I had it on the mount is that, you know, the way I play, it was getting in the way sometimes of my my left hand, especially when I was using the traditional grip. So I'd go to smack my 10-inch and, you know, hit it on this mount, which, by the way, again, is metal. So you don't want to be doing that. So it was just a matter of just backing it off maybe an inch by, you know, sticking it on the stand. And again, a little more flexibility in terms of placement. So the mount that the ADM was actually sitting on is now holding up my Beta 52. So there it is, man. Welcome to the new setup. Shout out to Aventone. You guys make fantastic mics. Now I actually recorded a fully mixed drum solo on these mics, but I'm gonna upload it in a separate video. So it's just a short little improv thing, but it's fully mixed. So you really get to hear these things once they're dressed up. And even then, I didn't do too much to it, man. I cleaned up the toms a little bit by removing some of the mud with a gate, added a little bit of compression, a little bit of plate reverb on the snare, just for a little bit of color. And then I stuck like a fat plug-in on the kick mic just to beef it up a little bit. But I'm telling you, man, other than that, honestly, like it took me like 15 minutes to dress this whole thing up. These mics do not need a lot of help. So make sure you go straight to that video after you watch this one. As for this one, that's all I got to say, man. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. New viewers, new subscribers, welcome to the channel. This is what we talk about. We talk about nerd stuff here as well. But if you're looking for some good lessons, this is the place to be. Hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is coming out. Drop a comment below, of course. Let me know what you think of these new mics. Share this video if you dig it. Like, subscribe. See you next video.